This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hi, I'm Elise Morales.
And I'm Millie Tamaris.
And this is
Go Touch Grass,
the podcast where we log in
so you can log off.
Millie and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can go do literally anything else with your time.
Anything else with your time. And if you like what you hear today and want to hear more, we got a Go Touch Grass Patreon with tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community that's on and popping, and our spin-off series Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past. Our latest Search Series history was on the complicated, dynamic legacy of Joanne the Scammer.
Wow, that was a walk down memory lane.
It was
for
a
me.
walk down memory lane.
I loved Joanne,
and also just a study on race relations, adoption ethics,
virality,
character studies, all of that. And it was voted on by our $10 patrons. You can purchase the episode, but it is there, you know.
Yeah, and I will say just right up top that our next Patreon episode, I am going to dive into the Patti LuPone, Audra McDonald, Broadway dust up. I texted Millie and I was like, it's too deep for me to research for tomorrow. There's too much. There was simply too much. So if you want to hear about Joanne the Scammer, if you want to hear about Broadway divas getting into it with each other, though actually one person wasn't getting into it with anyone. It's only one Broadway diva that was getting into it.
Well, there was
people.
an open letter with 500 signatures.
There was. So get ready for that. That'll be on the Patreon. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love your reviews. We need more of them, but really the best review you can give us is to tell your friends about the podcast. Tag us in a story. We'll repost it. You know that we're online.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Go Touch Grass on YouTube. We have a full video episode every Saturday. You can get the behind the scenes cut. You can see the jacket that got TikTok in a stir.
Yeah.
And guess what? People sided with me.
Yep.
People were like, he's not seeing the vision. People were commenting saying that Zach needed to learn about undertones and all of that. So you're gonna get that stuff on the YouTube.
You're gonna get it on the YouTube. But what you're gonna get Today we have a wonderful guest in studio.
Rocking the B.O.B. Bob.
Rocking the Bob. You know what? This is a guest who's been holding it down for the Bob community. And you know that I respect the shit out of that.
Bob. But listen, she did a blonde Bob. It fucking slayed. All her Bobs slay, I'm telling you.
She's bobbed in every font.
Yes.
She's bobbed in every
bold italic, Garamond, Times New Roman. Bitch, ain't nobody B.O.B.ing like our guest. She's also an actress.
She's also an actress and comedian who you can see in the viral sensation show Overcompensating that's out right now on Amazon Prime. You can also see her on Staple View on Instagram. And it is, guys, get excited for Julia Shiplett.
Woo! Hi, friends.
We're
what
so
an
excited.
intro. That really hyped me up.
Yes.
B.O.B.
B.O.B. Bob, baby.
You know,
you gotta use that sound. You guys gotta be using that sound more.
The B.O.B. Bob?
Yeah, the
fuck ass Bob.
The Nicki Minaj, like, so the B.O.B. Bob.
Yes.
Bob. You gotta be.
I gotta get a
Bob.
personal soundboard.
You gotta get a personal soundboard. I know. I mean, honestly, as a Caribbean person, you need to have that with air horns at all times.
Yeah.
But you know.
I told you, and I'll share this with you, that one time I was walking my dog and I had my headphones in, and I live near a middle school, which means that like if I'm walking near when the middle school gets out, kids are gonna say some shit to you because they're little kids at a middle school. So I was walking and this girl said something to me, but I couldn't quite make it out. But I know she was talking shit to me, and she said like, no, you're Bob, or she said no, you're dog, and I couldn't tell what it was, and it took me a second to register that like she was like clowning me in front of her friends. So I took my headphones out and I went like, what? Thinking she's like a child who needs something, and then she went like white as a sheet, and her friends all ran away, and one of her friends went, sorry, and they ran away. And so I'll never know if she was saying something about my Bob or my dog.
You're like, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
what I fucking thought. Yeah, at least fights at middle school.
I would love that. I mean, I feel like we all sort of look like big kids,
I know.
TBH.
Well, I'm saying that the trend for, and I feel like you wear appropriate pants always. Your pant style is good,
wow.
but I'm like
gassing up Julia right. We're
gassing
like,
up
great
Julia.
Bob, great
pants,
appropriate pants.
Appropriate pants.
Like you know what I mean? Like you're following the trend, but you're not doing too much. You know what I'm saying?
I try.
But
Thank you.
the we talked about it, like because we all look like big kids. To your point, the girlies are the hot girlies are dressing like Malcolm in the Middle bullies, like bullies on Malcolm in the Middle, or
That's
like
really
even
funny.
Stevens. Like
Yes.
somebody said in our Discord channel. And
Yes.
that
Does
is
that
a
just
big
mean
thing.
like androgynous big t-shirts?
and like
Yeah.
the layered big shirts and the
Yeah.
big jorts?
yeah.
Big George.
Big jorts. People are saying
One of my favorite Google image searches that you can look up anytime is just Kevin Smith huge jorts. There's a picture of him wearing jorts that are it's unbelievable to behold the jorts that Kevin Smith had on.
Well, okay, one thing, right? Okay, back to the Zach episode, and then we're gonna go to Julia.
Yeah.
But somebody was saying on the comments of our TikTok, they're like, ill, Rockaware in 2025. And I'm like, first of all, bitch is vintage.
It's vintage.
Second of all, you wouldn't blink a goddamn eye if Billie Eilish.
Zach was wearing Rockaware.
Well, we went vintage shopping like 2-3 years ago, and I was like, you got to get this oversized denim jacket, and it was Rockaware. But like anyone could rock like, and then also like he was like, it's too big, it's too big. You don't wear a tailored denim jacket. A denim jacket could be too small. It could be too big. The conventions of fashion don't fit with denim jackets, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Billie Eilish would wear the same thing, and everyone be like, "Oh my God, she's an icon." She literally wears dresses like Big Pun. That's
Well,
what everyone says,
But I don't know if Zach is.
that's
a
my
No,
thing
he's
is that I
not.
fit. That's
It's
kind of
not
where
Zach.
I came down.
and that's fair. But if the criticism is the jacket, that's not right.
No,
Yeah.
the jacket was a
The
good
jacket was a good jacket. I
But
have to
maybe
say.
the jacket was wearing him and not the other way
I
around.
think so. I think a little bit. I
You
think
know,
the
and
jacket
I love
was wearing
Zach.
him, and
He's a
we
cutie.
love Zach. Even despite his viral feud with Millie over the jacket, we do love Zach.
So funny.
And but according, there's somebody else we love. Okay, we love Julia.
Mhm.
So
It's such a-
Millie once gave me the best compliments of my life.
Oh,
and
what
I don't
did I
even know
say?
if you remember it. You were like, you look like Roxanne from a Goofy movie.
you do,
you do. Oh,
you do.
And that's why you
So
guys need to
fucking
subscribe to the
nice.
YouTube because
She
you really
is
do look
giving.
like
You got the
Roxanne.
cute nose, the freckles,
But
the
she
eyes.
has the long hair. Her
Yeah.
hair is such a big part of
She
it.
wasn't
and I don't-
bobbing.
She
was not
wasn't
bobbing.
bobbing, but you know what? I'll say this. If you want to go the ginger route, like the ginger hair route that's popping now with a big
Mhm.
like side bang, like you know it works.
Damn.
Yeah, and
You
a
know it
beret.
works.
I
And
feel
a
like she
beret.
had a beret on it.
That was her f-
No, that's her friend.
her friend with
when
the
they go to
glasses.
college.
When
Sorry.
they go to college.
Sorry.
Who spiritually
sorry.
identify with more.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
did love
Well,
Roxanne.
you know. we
Wow,
kinda-
call me in for comparing two. What are they? Dogs? Two dog women?
Yeah,
Two
dog
girls.
women.
Oh
dog
no, I got the
girls.
two redheaded dog women confused. I'm so sorry.
There's gonna be. Like,
they don't all look the same.
I'm
Elise.
sorry. Call me in. Okay,
question.
Julia, before we get into our episode, we do got to ask. I mentioned that you are in overcompensating. That's so exciting. There is much. I'm getting TikToks about overcompensating all the time. I'm seeing edits. I'm seeing you in an edit.
I love
People are
that.
featuring. How has like the online response to being in something like that been for you?
It's been really fun. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like I'm not a big character, so I feel like, you know, I'm not getting the volume that some of the other characters
Yeah.
are. But I think that like a lot of the young queers are loving seeing this like version of them. Like it's fun being one of the few like openly queer characters on
Yes.
this season. Obviously, it's a coming out story, so I think there's going to be a lot more of that.
Oh,
But
teasing. Season 2, maybe.
I truly know nothing. But
Okay.
It's
But
funny
just,
to be like
like-
season 2, there might be anher gay person.
Yeah.
there might be
That's a
more
high
gay
chance.
people.
Yeah, more gay people
You
in
heard
the
it here
gay
first.
show about
Um,
being gay.
But I think it's fun. I think also like it's fun being someone who's kind of alt and like,
Mhm.
you know, I would not like gothy, but like e-girl, Tumblr era,
Yeah.
Grimes coded,
Yeah.
and like a
Grimes
very
coded.
preppy show. So I
Yeah.
think like that's just fun to get like, you know, just
Yeah.
seeing like cool all queer kids.
Yeah, your
Be like,
styling in it is very, very fun.
it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun.
E-girl, definitely. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's such a specific and alt like category. And speaking of alt, something that you do with your original content that I think is really funny is you'll use the like latest filters to like inspire characters and stuff. Like your tattooed chef one, and you do like a lot of I think I saw one about like Gen Z pant styling versus millennial styling and stuff. So yeah, like talk to me about like what inspires your characters, maybe some of the ones that you've done, and some responses that you've gotten, and
I feel like I really like earnestly enjoy a lot of content that's out there that is like so sincere and just be like, I love this food, or like, look at my cute outfit. Like they're not trying to be funny. They're just trying to like be real. But I think we're comedians, so my instinct is I'm like, I gotta riff off this. Like I gotta comment on this.
There's no such thing as sincerity. You guys are all crazy. Yeah.
Oh, you people, you too.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm saying me too. Yeah. No, we all like
us.
We don't like sincerity.
It's hard.
I admire it in others. Like I feel if I think about like myself doing an earnest like get ready with me style video, I feel like I can't get myself to do it. But there is something about a person who can just be like, I think I look really nice today. Do you guys want to see what I'm wearing? That I'm like, that's beautiful. That's beautiful that you can do that.
It's hard. I did one when we did the photo shoot for this fucking podcast cover. I did get ready with me to prep for the podcast shoot because it was like a long day. And I'm like, people might want to see that. Like, I have to do my hair. I have to do my makeup. I have to walk to Elise's house, get in an Uber, go to this random guy's weird ass apartment, walk up 5 flights of stairs, take all these pictures, and it looks really good. And that's a fun day, whatever. But it fucking took me forever to edit. And I'm like,
that's the thing.
And that's how I'm like, God bless these people who do that. But I will make fun of you still.
I feel like it's just, because then I get inspired to like do that thing. But then I'm like, how do like I subvert this somehow? Yeah. And that to me is like fun. But I'm still like participating in the thing that I actually am like, I do like this.
Yeah, well, there's no ethical content consumption in modern day, right?
Yeah, I know. But I do be following my like style girls that I love. Like I just like I'm like, no, I actually want to see what you're wearing.
Yeah. No, it's important. And
I want to see how they're doing their makeup. Like I genuinely do want to know. I feel like my ability to do makeup has gotten so much better since TikTok because I can actually like watch videos of people applying makeup and how they do it.
Not YouTube. Interesting.
No, I was never a YouTube makeup tutorial person. They needed to start getting like fed to me in the form of TikTok. I don't really like use YouTube like that, like follow channels and watch all of their updates and all that stuff.
I would Google, like if I have a vision in my head of what I want to do makeup wise, I'll Google that, like, or I'll YouTube it, like gold or like a bronze smoky eye. I can't believe
the classic
smoky eye where you do the lighter
campfire
thing. Yeah, smoky eye for black women or whatever, and I'll look it up and I'll look at their techniques. I look up what shades they're using and all that stuff. But TikTok has made it better because those videos would be 20 minutes long.
That's the other thing.
Now the videos are a minute long and you're seeing it faster. So I totally get that.
Yeah, I think that's where it got me. You know what? The discussion of earnest content and earnestness online actually leads us quite directly into our discourse beautiful way.
Let's go.
So, Julia, the discourse is our segment where we talk about something that everybody is chit-chatting about online. And I would say, okay, I'm calling this discourse is it cursed content, singing edition? Because
so cursed content is another segment where we share things that are cursed.
Yeah.
Like cursed content. You know?
Yes.
Content that's disturbing, shows us the humanity, like the reality of being human in a dark way.
Yes. And I feel like both the videos that we're about to watch are related to singing.
Yeah.
And people are semi-divided on if they're cursed or cringe or not. So we're gonna decide.
Okay.
Polarized times right now.
We are. Everything is so
polarized.
So is it kind of like, is it cursed or blessed?
Yeah. I don't think either of them
They're
are
not
blessed,
blessed,
but they
yeah,
might be
they're not
neutral.
blessed.
Okay,
They
cool.
might be okay.
Okay. Great.
So we're going to start with someone on TikTok who has become known as the Tiptoes singer. So,
You know the Tiptoe singer?
No.
You never heard of the Tiptoe singer?
No.
well, you're about to.
I feel like you do. Know
You're
the
about
Tiptoe
to hear
singer.
him in a big
I'm not
way.
on TikTok like that.
Wow.
I'm unfortunately a gram girl, and I
Mhm.
want to not be either.
No, yeah, that's
I
pretty
post
good.
So
on
you'll hear
TikTok
about
and I
him?
log off.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Your brain's not as rotten.
Yeah. Anyway, you'll hear
In a
about him in
different
like
way.
3 weeks.
Yeah, you'll hear about it in 3
No,
weeks.
I'll get the like carousel on Instagram in
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
But all right, we're going to start with talking about the Tiptoes singer. So the Tiptoes singer is an American singer named Brendan Abernathy, and on May 19th, he uploaded a video promoting his next single, which is titled Married in a Year. I will say that right now, Brendan has 26,000 followers on TikTok, but this is after this very viral situation. So my guess would be gotta be like max 10,000 before, maybe even less. But I like to just say to try to like triangulate how much power a person had going into this situation, you know?
And he was doing, I mean, the video that we're going to watch,
Yeah.
he's like performing at a show.
Yes. So the
And
video
it wasn't like a good, it wasn't like a stage.
So the video we're about to watch is him performing. It seems kind of like maybe he's at a college
Or like a
like at a
bonfire.
party. Yeah, the vibe that it's giving to me is college party where this guy is performing in the middle of a group of people. It's like a circle of people who are all standing around him, and he is performing this song alone with his guitar. So with that setting, let's listen to Married in a Year by Brendan Abernathy.
Married in a year in the suburbs, with a kid on the way in 3. Convincing yourself you're living the American dream. And I'll be dancing out in California. Kid who got it all wrong. Convincing myself one day I'll write a love song.
Okay, so that was the Tiptoes singer. For anyone listening, the reason he is called Tiptoes singer is because on the line in the suburbs, he kind of emphatically gets up to his tiptoes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes so much sense.
So how did the song, how are you receiving Married in a Year by Brendan Abernathy?
I just realized, okay, so I have seen that before.
Of course you have.
On Instagram, naturally.
Made its way.
Nori Reed posted it in her stories and was like, Benson Boone, this is your fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big response. Big
And-
response.
Yeah, he's like, is that an original?
Yeah.
It is his original song,
Wow.
but it's, it's an ancient sound in many ways.
I'm like, okay. See, now I'm going to like take a few steps back, and because this is giving Claire Danes the show in the 90s with Jordan Catalano.
My
So-Called Life.
It's giving My So-Called Life is like whatever, and I'm just like, but this is 2025. I thought the kids liked the beep boops, but then Morgan Wallen's #1. I'm trying to make
Benson
sense.
Boone is flipping all over this country
Yeah,
and
but
all
that's
over the
at
world.
least like with
Benson
electric
Boone gives
guitar.
Tiptoe.
Yes.
He's giving Tiptoe, but this guy's playing guitar. I haven't seen Benson. Benson's not playing electric guitar. He's doing like
He's
Freddie.
flipping.
He's Freddie Mercury. He's doing the like. That kind of makes more sense in context of 2025 of like a mutation of Harry Styles. But this is giving like Americana. I'm just like, I wonder if this is like Trumpian, like conservative, like whatever, going back to its roots. I'm just confused on like, what does this mean about our culture that people are going and seeing this in parties? I don't know.
I think what is unsettling, I hear you, because it is like a throwback to another day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But what I find unsettling about the video is that it is at night with all the flash. The
The
phone
phone.
flashes behind him. Like if he was just like in a field you know, or at sunset, I'd be like, this isn't for me, but like, I'd
It's
be
a
like,
vibe.
that's a sincere Tiptoe Little Prince.
Sincere Tiptoe performance.
And,
yeah.
and now there was something menacing about that.
There is something about him standing in the middle of the crowd playing the guitar
On
at
a
this
dirt-
group
yeah.
that I am
10
like,
people behind him, like,
yeah, I'm like, how did this come to be? Though I will say, the first time this came across my feed, I was like, this kid's doing a lot. But as a millennial who went to college in the indie sleaze era, I was also like, I've been here. I've been in this circle with some guy on his tiptoes screaming about his ex on the guitar and like having a little wail to his voice. So to me, when I first saw how viral it was, I was kind of like, oh, I guess this is coming back. I guess this sound is coming back. That's not how it was being received. So basically, this clip starts going viral, and we now must ask what the internet has been asking since the clip came out. Is it cringe? Because he's being accused of committing the cardinal Gen Z sin of being cringe in the video. Too earnest, corny. That's what was coming up. So here are like some of the comments. If we look at this next slide. I blame Alex Warren and Benson Boone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was a skit. Just hootin' and tootin'.
Wow. Just hootin' and tootin' is so real.
Just hootin' and
I think you
tootin'
gotta
is real.
say how many like views.
Oh
and
yes,
likes this.
I have that in here. So this did get 19 million views. As of now, it has 19 million views and it has 1.3 million likes.
Yeah.
So again, that's super duper
a lot of likes.
That's a like because a lot of these hating comments have 400,000 likes.
Yeah.
So we have to contextualize with like millions of people have seen this
with the views and all of that. So if we go, I've got a couple more comments on this next slide. There's something very youth pastor about this.
So youth pastor. It is. It's Christian.
It is.
Yeah,
it
that's
does
what
feel
I'm
Christian.
saying. Conservative Christian Trump.
If I was a confident white man, I'd be unstoppable. And then this other one says, "Don't quit your day job," and that one does. It's a little mean to me because I'm like, he's not hurting anybody by singing on his tiptoes.
Also, it's 2025. Like, who has a day job?
Who does?
Yeah.
Well, we all have
12
Yeah,
jobs. That's what I
like,
mean. I'm like,
okay. I would love to quit a
1995.
day job.
Yeah, I'd love to quit one day job.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, video comes out. Again, once we're getting into the 19 million views territory, this is obviously going far and wide. It starts getting parodied. So I'm seeing a ton of people lip syncing to it. I saw one of like this dude who's using his baby as the guitar and lip syncing to it. That was really funny. He starts getting the nickname Tiptoes Singer, which, as we've already discussed, once we're getting into nickname territory, that's not good. That's really not good.
But isn't it kind of good?
I mean, that's, I guess, the fundamental question.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the nickname. They launched.
I think if you can spin it, if you can use Tiptoes to elevate yourself.
I'm Tiptoes.
Tiptoes
like that
singer.
kind of could be a vibe.
Which
it depends on how he's taking it. Yeah.
And we'll get into how he's taking it. We will. One video by it's KRABBELJONGEN. I think he's German because I was looking at all his other videos and they are in German. This video was it's just the sound and then he like animated it and it got 630,000 views and 124,000 likes in one day and then became its own meme. So if we go to this next slide, it's this drawing of him on his tiptoes that says "in the suburbs." So I started seeing this now all over the place too. So now there are like sub memes of Tiptoes Singer that also include just this image of being on your tiptoes, this pencil drawing of tiptoes.
I guess to me, and maybe this is what's unsettling to me, I've always been unsettled and disturbed by people who walk outside in socks. I feel like barefoot makes more sense to me, but walking outside in socks is something that deeply disturbs me.
There shouldn't be fabric directly on the ground.
Yeah, and I just feel like they're so hard to wash. I'm like, people who do that, I'm like, you don't wash your own socks.
But he's barefoot.
No, he's wearing socks.
Okay, because he's barefoot in the drawing.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
The drawing
is
wrong.
Liberty.
Okay, this is artistic liberty.
He kind of looked like he was wearing like Vibram, like scary sock shoes.
Oh,
but I wasn't
and
sure.
that's put a pin in the sock shoes.
The toe
because
shoe, you know.
that really scares me when I see out and about people in the shoes that
That's
have individual
cursed.
toes.
A cursed shoe.
That absolutely is a cursed
Well,
piece
you're
of
kind of
fashion.
wearing tabbies
No.
No?
These
Okay.
are different.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you saw all 5 toes, then we can talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's a
2 is
split.
different.
It's a
Two
split.
is
That's the
different.
cloven hoof
The
is
cloven
different.
hoof,
Cloven
yeah.
hoof is in.
Cloven hoof is in.
So that's just different. So, okay. This starts going viral. It's becoming its own meme, getting insane amounts of views. The sound is going crazy. I start seeing all these videos that are like people going, that one guy on my feed, and then like parodying him and pretending, and then Tiptoe singer, this, that, and the other thing. As this is happening, we start to move into a true backlash to the backlash situation where people start to be like, hold up. We're all clowning TikTok. We're all clowning Tiptoe's singer. But does he really deserve it? Is Tiptoe's singer hurting anybody by singing on his tiptoes? So then we also get to a point where like he does start responding and he's actually being a pretty good sport about it. So on this next slide, I just did some of his responses. So this is him singing the song again, Married in a Year, lowercase version. So
I did
he's
not
like,
know he looked like that.
yeah, this is his look, which, you know, fits in line with, I think, the song.
For sure.
For sure. He's like responding to funny comments about it and just kind of generally taking it in like a good natured way. There was one where it was him directly responding to the just hootin' and tootin' comment with like a more high res video of him hootin' and tootin'. I'm like, okay. He's taking it in stride.
Yeah,
Sometimes we gotta just hoot and toot.
Exactly. He's like,
I
you
just
know
want to hoot and
what?
toot the summer.
I just want to hoot and toot and all kinds of shit.
And is hootin' and tootin' hurting anybody?
Absolutely not.
Hooting and tooting, not hurting. The aesthetic is weird to me or not. Is this where I would hang out? Is this for me? Is this what I want to see? No. But does it have a right to exist? Is this how art is made? The cringe thing is like, there is something about, this entire group of population who's like so frightened with vulnerability. It's weird because they'll see one thing as like the same people who are like, this shit is corny and cringe. Like, what other like favorite influencers will record themselves crying and having a full breakdown? And everyone's like, oh my God, yeah, for sure. And I'm like, that's cringe. Like,
exactly. I'm like, but this guy can't hoot and toot
this
with
guy
his guitar?
can sing in a dusty ass parking lot with a bunch of people around. Like, and it's like, I don't know. I'm like, part of it is like, with the rise of AI, I've gotten like really crazy, or not really crazy, but I'm starting to think, right? We're starting to see layoffs from AI, and they're going to start laying off copywriters and VFX people. But I'm like, if that's the case, like, what isn't AI going to replace? Like, AI could theoretically replace every single job except the hootin' and tootin'.
You know what
Tiptoes guy.
AI can't do? Hoot and toot.
No.
Exactly.
They don't know how the fuck to hoot and toot.
They don't know how to fucking hoot and toot.
It can't. AI can't get up on its tiptoes.
Yeah.
Can't get up on its tiptoes to say a damn thing.
Exactly.
So he's taking it in stride, and I think that contributes to the narrative changing kind of in his favor, and people starting to shift over to be like, why are we being mean to Hoot and Toot?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm re-nicknaming him Hoot and Toot.
Yeah.
So why are we being mean to Hoot and Toot? And then I think the real thing that like puts a pin in the narrative changing for him, because okay, to back it up, everyone starts comparing this. They're saying like, this is Cole's music, etc. And I'm like, well, you want to be walking around Cole's in silence? I don't know. Somebody's got to play it.
You can't play Deep House in Cole's.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, somebody's got to play the music for Cole's. And then people are comparing it to former guest, friend of the pod, Kyle Gordon's, like, millennial parody music.
I thought it was a Kyle Gordon song.
That's what a lot of people were saying. So
Kyle Gordon probably gets on his tiptoes here and there.
Yeah, but Kyle Gordon is impersonating a character.
He's impersonating Tiptoes. But the big coup that Mr. Abernathy gets is if we go to this next slide, he does a video with Kyle Gordon, and Kyle meets him in the
that's
woods.
good. I
And and they
that.
sing.
Now that, okay.
And I'm like, number one.
I want to watch that.
I'm like, number one, that's very nice of Kyle to engage with Tiptoes and to legitimize Tiptoes in this way.
Yeah.
I'm like, good on Kyle.
Where did he go?
He met him in the woods.
Holy
Tiptoes.
shit.
Like, where is
Kyle
he?
is crazy.
Yeah, I know. But I'm like, where is this guy even located?
Like,
What is this?
I'm thinking like Burbs of Tennessee.
That's what
Yeah,
I
I
would
know.
say, but I'm like, Kyle is on the ground in Tennessee doing this shit.
Kyle Gordon got flued out to meet
Jesus.
Hootin'
The devil works fast. Kyle Gordon works
Or
faster.
faster. I know. Former guest
I
of the
know.
pod.
I was like, okay, amazing. So then this video comes out and people are like, okay, this is fun. Then he makes another video. And the reason I'm not showing us these is because it's all just the song again,
Yeah.
like the sound over it again.
And
But it was him being like, I went from this, and it's like all the negative comments, to this, and it's him and Kyle Gordon. And then the comments start shifting. So we'll go to this next slide. Now people are like, song's been stuck in my head for a week. Studio version rips. I'm here for it, King. Let's go. The song isn't even really bad. It slaps, and I'm sick of pretending it doesn't.
Okay, the person who said that though, last name is Wahlberg. We have to have a flag on that. It might be related to the Wahlburgers.
But
what
her
I'm
full
saying.
thing is Shark Wahlberg, so I do think it's a pun.
Okay.
I think it's a pun on Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
Because she's Shark Wahlberg.
I don't know. I was getting scared. I was
I-
like, did you punch a Vietnamese guy in the face? What's going on?
No, I think she's pretending to be Shark Wahlberg.
Which is
Who
Mark
knows who
Wahlberg.
Shark Wahlberg is?
But if you're making a Mark Wahlberg pun.
Also, that's such a this song literally isn't even bad. That's like the meanest thing anyone
I've-
could say.
Imagine you're getting a comment on your stand-up. This isn't even bad.
The comments on my stand-up are like, okay, we get it. Fat people fuck.
Like,
It's like, can everyone just like what be fucking doing? I'm like, is that a thing that people say?
It's really interesting the way a commenter will be ostensibly supporting you and then also hurt you more than like you could ever
100%.
possibly imagine. I've been dealing with something where like I have a character up on this like popular character YouTube page called Characters Welcome. And for 1 second in this character, it's a character that's like a romantasy lead, whatever. It's on my Instagram. People can see it.
It's really good.
I
watched it multiple
I
times.
do think it's good. But in the stage version, the full version, for 1 second, I flashed this image, and it is an AI image. I didn't make it. I just found it on Google. I Googled Dragon Fairy Prince, and I screenshot it, and I stole it the old-fashioned way. But the commenters on the YouTube are all arguing about if I like ethically used AI or if I like wasted water to like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can't get into it. But one person who was defending me was like, guys, come on. You really expect some no-name comedian to have to buy proprietary art for her little bit? And I'm like, I appreciate the sentiment. I hate the execution. I really don't love how we phrased this one.
The name on everyone's
You're
lips
correct,
is Elise
asshole.
Morales.
But that's so funny.
That happened to me when I said that Elon Musk's MO is that he likes to, talk to every single white woman he finds remotely attractive at his companies and proposition having a baby with them. And when they say no, he punishes them career-wise. And then a lot of his fans were like, you're just mad because he won't fuck you. And then like someone was like, no, she knows she's ugly too.
Oh my
People will come to your defense and in the most hurtful
I
way
know.
online. It's so crazy. So I just have a couple more comments here on this next slide. I've laughed and shared the memes, but genuinely keep being an artist, dude, and making what you want. That's all that matters. The way you've handled this is something.
You have to read the name. The name is crazy.
Is Trix the Explorer?
No, Britton Ray.
Oh, this next one is Britton Ray, but it's spelled
Britton Ray.
Britton Ray, R-A-E, and a heart. The way you've handled this is something marketing teams will study and try to replicate in the future with new artists on social media. Mark my words. So things have now flipped in his favor, and I do want to quickly play a take from this creator who I really like. His handle is @NotWildlin. I think his name is Widlin. He says it like right at the top of this video, but I always know him as NotWildlin. And I feel like it sums up personally how I feel about a Hootin' Toot TikTok Tiptoes singer.
Sorry to all of my fans and supporters, but this is going to be another Widlin has a bad taste take. I want to make 4 quick points about that boy who's singing on his tiptoes in that big, big room full of Patagonia vests and Pacific Northwest. You'll be dancing in California. The kid who got out. Here's the thing. Firstly, y'all are going to laugh that kid into success. You're going to laugh him into a bag because low-key, it's kind of stuck in my head. Secondly, he's still posting and doing whatever launch strategy for that single that's about to drop. He's unfazed that everyone is laughing at him. He's clearly passionate about what he's doing, even if that passion comes off a little corny or whatever. I can respect that because I don't think a lot of people have the backbone to stand 10 toes down behind their art and their craft when it comes down to that time. Third, I grew up in a time when people listened to Parachute. When I heard that man sing that song, I understood it the first time because I remember Parachute. This is a genre that white people do, and I'm glad that they're returning to their roots. They call her love, 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 love. She is love. She is all I need. Y'all remember Parachute? Forever and always. I cried when I heard that song for the first time. Parachute has a cover of Carrie Hilson's Pretty Girl Rock that I went up for the first time I heard it because I thought it was cool and creative, amongst other things. And if you played it today, I would still go up for it with the same twinge of irony that I consume most white pop music with, which brings me to my 4th point. A lot of this stuff is not very distinguishable from what y'all like as your faves. Like, I think that there's a very fine line between what people think is corny and what people think is cool. And from my perspective, enjoying white music oftentimes with that same little bit of irony of like, yeah, you go white kid. I don't know. It just seems like it's all the same. It's all burger and fries. So it's so funny to me when everyone's like, this is much different than the stuff I enjoy. It's not. It's really, really not. For example, everyone is laughing at him because they're like, you're singing a song about this woman who's clearly moved on from your relationship with her and she's happy living with someone else. Get over it. Which is fair, and that's true. But also, that's like you singing a song about the fantasy that your ex is actually not over you and is in their new relationship, still thinking about you and silently miserable, is also the plot of Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan. This guy just did it in a very heterosexual font, which is a detraction. That's fair, but it's the same plot. It's all burgers and fries, guys. And I don't know.
We can cut it there.
It's all burgers and fries.
It's all burgers and fries,
and
babe.
fries,
What
guys.
say you? I have one dissenting opinion, but I want to hear from you.
I generally agree. I think that is a good take. I think the fact that, like, because he is doing it in such a heterosexual white male font,
Socks outside,
that it does detract. There's no, someone like Chappell Roan or like a pop girly will either figure out how to make it like somehow subversive or surprising or like cunt and fun.
Yeah.
Or like making fun of herself. Like there's just no, it's just,
that's it.
That's it. And that's why it's kind of uninteresting and kind of easy,
To make
low-hanging
fun of
fruit. Yeah.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I would say the subversive aspect is missing, and I think that might be like the puzzle piece that shifts it, like you're saying. And he does say in that like doing Good Luck Babe in a heterosexual font is a detraction. Like part of what makes Good Luck Babe is there is this other layer where it's like she's talking to someone who she's like, you're gay and you're not, you're not living that way, and that's
so
why
good luck with your life.
Yeah, so good luck with your
You're probably
life.
like going to be miserable, but who knows? Maybe that girl isn't. And
I do want to find out where that was actually shot, though, because he's saying Pacific Northwest vibes. I'm thinking
Tennessee,
Southern.
For some reason, I don't know why I heard San Diego, but
that could make sense.
I saw somebody from his past say that, like the guy Tiptoe singers, like the guy was like, I've known him since college, and they went to college in Georgia.
See, that track.
That makes sense.
Someone
Georgia
text
would make
Kyle
sense.
Gordon. Gordon knows.
Yeah, let's text Kyle Gordon.
Yeah, I was like, Kyle, where did you fly to meet this man?
Where
in the
is
woods?
the forest you're in?
Yeah, I think but the thing is too, I feel that way with most media and comedy, where it's like half of this is like just women be shopping bullshit, and like there's no subversive or twist or anything, but some people just like that sincerity shit. And like, that is something, and I keep saying bring up conservative because that is something that you see in conservative media. There's no subversion. It's all just
It's not
straightforward.
layered.
It's not layered. Yellowstone, that kind of stuff, completely straightforward, very sincere, no irony, no nothing,
Right.
no examination, whatever. And I guess people just like that, and that to me is what's off-putting. I will say I disagree with the person when the TikTok creator. I do find a lot of covers to be offensive. Like when white people cover black music with an acoustic guitar, it's a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's giving something weird. Piano covers of rap music. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
You know what I'm trying to say.
there was a time when
People thought it was funny just
Yeah.
to cover. Yeah.
Oh, and I remember that time, and I engaged.
Yeah.
And now I would not engage. But that's not what Hootin' Toot is doing.
That's not what
Hootin'
Hootin'
Toot's
Toot's not
song.
doing that.
Hootin' Toot's
An
song is his
original.
original song.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we move on to our next piece of cursed singing content, where do we come down on Tiptoes singer? Do we let him cook?
I'm going to go ahead and say blessed because of my AI
Ooh.
thing. Because
Wow.
guess what? AI can replicate. Well, they probably can, but it can't perform
No.
with as much gusto with
Yeah.
Socks Outside as Brendan.
No. AI can't be in the woods with Kyle Gordon singing.
Exactly.
And for that reason, you know what? I'm gonna say blessed as well.
Yeah.
He's blessed.
Yeah.
I think I started a new segment, you guys.
Yeah, cursed or blessed.
Blessed.
That's really true.
Yeah.
Cursed or blessed.
Cursed or blessed. Julia,
I'll give him a B.
Wow.
I'll give him a B. I'll give him a B.
Okay, so Hootin' Toot Tiptoes singer, you got a blessed from us.
You got a bless.
You got a
Go
blessing.
on.
Go on, keep singing, get on those tiptoes, and
Exactly.
and the best of luck to you with your
Yeah.
single.
But was he wearing an American flag on his sweater in that video? That's
Ooh, in the
still.
original?
I was trying to figure that out. We
Yeah.
It's
can
tough. We said
examine
it
that
was,
later.
We said it was coded in some way.
Yeah. Well,
I also wish I would like him to dye his hair a darker color.
yeah.
Well, you're just asking for
Okay.
We
Cut
gotta
that.
start with the shoes. We don't have to cut it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, he's not wearing shoes, Julia.
Yeah.
The dyeing hair, that's gonna be
We have bigger
later.
fish
Yeah.
to fry.
We
I'm
have
sorry.
bigger fish to fry.
Sorry.
He needs to do his laundry with OxyClean. Like, we have stuff to take care of.
We're gonna start with getting shoes on his feet, and then we're gonna work up. We're gonna
Yeah.
change
His
the
body.
sweater, and then we're gonna
This
get to
comes
the
last.
hair.
The hair.
So, okay, our next cursed,
Some lowlights, maybe.
our next cursed or blessed singing video. I feel like we're gonna come down on the side of cursed, but
Yeah.
we'll see. This is a video that has gone viral of a little girl singing Moana on a delayed Delta flight. Have either of you guys seen this?
No.
This is really tough. So, a Delta flight to Orlando was 2 hours deep into a delay. Like, the flight had been delayed, and then it was those thing where you have to circle the airport for a long time.
So awful.
So, I think, like, ultimately the flight was delayed 4 hours, and it was like you're on the plane the
Yeah,
entire time
that sucks.
experiencing this delay.
You can't get snacks or anything either at that time.
So, about, and
You're
that's
like,
true.
give me a bag of chips.
It's true. And they're like, don't go to the bathroom. Just so you know, if you pee, we might not be, well, you might,
That's
we might miss the
crazy.
window. And I'm like, what?
my
I'm a
God.
human
Human
being.
being.
Like,
You're literally trapping me
yeah,
Yeah.
in a box right
exactly.
now.
I'm like, so give me a cup or something. Like, what do you want? I have to pee. I have to pee.
Let me vape. at
Let me
least.
vape.
Yeah, at this
Like, give me
point.
some fucking weight. Well,
Yeah.
my edibles already hit. So
Okay, so yeah, that's actually good to imagine. You're on this flight. You're 2 hours into the delay. You're 2 hours into your edible. And this happens. We'll go to this next video and we're going to watch it.
No matter how hard I try, every turn I take, every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I love to be. See the line where the sky meets the sea.
It goes on
It
so
calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this island has a role on this island. everything is by design.
No clapping, nothing.
I know every
Also, zero
body
stage
on this
presence.
island
know.
has a role on this island, so maybe I can roll with mine. I can make us strong. I can
It's
lead
going on
with
so
the rhyme.
long.
I'll be satisfied if I play along. But the voice inside sings a different song. What is wrong with me?
I like the person who occasionally is
See the line
chiming
where the
in.
sky meets
Do you think
the
that's her
sea
mom behind her, or is that a woman who just has to take a piss?
No one
It could
knows
be.
how far it
Is she laughing
goes.
though? I don't
And
know.
it seems like it's calling out to
The
me.
little girl?
So come
No, the
find
bomb behind.
Also,
me.
you guys keep
Let
saying
me
little girl.
know.
This bitch is taller than us. Like,
Beyond that
taller than me and
line,
Taller
Elise.
than you.
that line, see the line where
She's
the sky
not
meets the
little.
sea.
She's-
It
I thought you
calls
guys,
me.
I thought she was gonna be
And
like
no
6 when you guys said that.
one knows how deep it goes.
And it's still going.
If the wind in my sail on the
Also,
sea
what is she
stays
looking at?
behind
She's like-
me,
The
one
position
day
of
I'll
the
know
like
how far
crew
I'll
phone that she's using to sing into is really.
She can't look at anyone. She
No.
can't look at the audience.
Okay, guys. Right off the bat, cursed or blessed.
It's giving a C for me.
Yeah.
Giving a seat, no other comment.
Yeah. That's tough.
It's
That's tough.
What would you do if that was happening on your plane? Your non-moving plane.
I have such bad flight anxiety too. So
Yeah,
first
you
of all,
do.
when I'm on a plane, I am zooted
Yeah.
on like I am coming at like trying to calm myself from so many different angles so that if I saw that, I would be like scared and confused. And also when I'm flying, I think that everyone who's getting up is gonna try to open the door of the plane.
Oh
like
God, that's such a scary fear, Elise.
That's
Truly-
crazy.
No, I am crazy when I'm on a plane. Like I do not have rational thought. So I would be like, she's planning something. Like the end of this, she's gonna do something. Like I get scared when people are up and about and walking.
I'm the opposite. I'm always the last person on the plane. Like they
That's
close
so
the door behind me, and then I sleep through the snacks, and then I wake up and I'm like, I missed the dinner, and then they gotta come and get me whatever.
That's funny.
And like I always make you gotta make friends with the flight attendants because they always give you free stuff.
That's true.
Or they'll
I'm
let you
always-
sing.
They'll let
I
you
guess.
sing. Guys, confession: my cousin went to Miami with her boyfriend at the time, and they let her boyfriend sing on the flight.
What?
Why?
And she posted it, and it was L is for the way you look
Oh.
at me, and it
But
was
it was for her?
for her.
Okay, see, I can get behind that.
That
That's
was like to
cute.
someone. It was worse than this, but I think, and some of it's tough.
I
But they're
can't-
doing that. They're being liberal with the phone display thing.
Yeah, I can't get behind allowing impromptu performances on a plane. Like I want everyone to be seated and behaved on the plane.
Literally. Imagine if a comedian was like, let me do like a type 5. Like,
I-
can you
That's where this is
imagine?
going.
people. Oh,
No,
That-
there
it's a slippery
are
slope.
mentally
Yeah.
ill comedians
well,
asking for that,
sometimes
but
flight attendants will make jokes. That I'll allow
Yeah,
because
that
you're
I'll
trying
allow.
to make your job fun. But there are some people that are, and I maybe feel like you're kind of this way. Like I like to do stand up. I like to perform. I'm not trying to do it at every fucking opportunity.
no.
Like I went to a bar one time on a date, like on a first date, and then that bar ended up having a show that other people I know were on it. And they're like, "Do you want to come on the show?" And I'm like, "No, I'm on a date." Like,
Literally.
Yeah.
And then, but the other comedians are like, "What are you talking about?" I would have totally like been like, "Watch me." On the like,
No.
that's
No.
so. or,
Because we
like,
don't have
people-
that sickness.
I don't
like,
have that sickness.
I also
Like,
can read the room. If I can tell other people don't want that to be happening,
exactly.
I don't need to
Yeah.
contribute to that.
No, but there's so many people who have that sickness who go on vacation like to Europe and find the only like English speaking comedy club within 60 miles and do a set. And they're like, I hopped on and I performed and whatever. And I'm like, ugh.
I have
I
done that,
just
unfortunately,
feel
but yeah.
So you're not gonna-
personally.
You're not going to do your character on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a character set.
Props.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my props out.
That was a hostage situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that I don't want to perform for an audience where
They're not ready. Yeah.
they're not ready and they can't leave because they are trapped. Like
Yeah.
They're
that is-
physically, literally,
yeah, they
legally
will die
trapped.
if they try to get out. So, okay, here's what I'll also say just in general. Thank God that girl's face is not really visible in the video. Like
She's still too old for that.
She is
still
too. She could be 12.
That's
I
crazy.
feel like she could have done the chorus once.
She should have.
Once.
Or at least bring it, girl. Like put on a show.
Put on a
Yeah.
show.
You were literally hiding from the
Yeah.
So you're saying more like
if you're
stage
gonna do it, commit.
Blue Ivy would never. Yeah,
No.
Blue Ivy would have the choreography.
Absolutely.
Blue Ivy
I
would
used
have
to
the choreo.
perform like that in front of like in party dances, but Millie was bringing it. 10-year-old Millie,
Lil Mel
unstoppable.
was.
Okay, so stats on this video. The original video was posted by someone. It's at Drewy's Roaming. So I think they're like someone who travels a bunch. It has over 20. It has over 24 million views and 3 million likes. And his
More than Tiptoes.
more than
That's-
Tiptoes.
I don't get that.
And it,
Sorry.
and his caption was, when your Delta flight is delayed 2 hours and you circle Orlando for another 2, but then a little girl sings Moana on the crew mic and suddenly everything feels okay. So he framed it
That's
positively.
crazy.
That's crazy because that is not suddenly everything feeling okay to me. That's me starting to be like, I'm in the twilight zone. And again, I am on heavy drugs and sedation while this is happening if I'm on this plane. So I'm like, did I die?
Yeah.
Like, have I passed
This is
over?
a fever dream.
Suddenly
okay.
everything's okay. He needs to be on a list. He needs to be on the list.
Like
If a 12-year-old singing that, it makes it feel okay. Sign up for some predator list.
He-
Also, let's stop calling her a little girl. This is a tween.
Yeah, tween.
Tween.
You're so right. She's squarely a tween.
She's a tween.
She's squarely a tween. And I was thinking that woman standing behind her was her mom, but where she's standing, it could just be someone who needs to use the restroom.
Well, she was like this the whole time.
Yeah.
So it could be her mom that like, she's like, please, mom, I want to do it. And the mom's like, yeah, but she's like, whatever. Because, everyone knows your mom's your biggest and first hater.
Mhm.
Or
She needed to hate more. She needed to say,
hate more.
She
"Let's
should have said,
actually
you
not
can't do
that."
this.
Yeah, she should-
I think a chorus would have been acceptable.
It went on a long time.
It went
She
on
got
a long
to
time.
once
She
she
sang the whole time.
once she was getting to every trail I track, every road reads.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we can't be doing that.
There's something also, I'm sorry, I'm going to call it out. Something a little icky about an Aryan tween singing Moana.
Yeah.
Moana's for all of us.
Yeah, but it's about Native Indigenous Hawaiian people. And that is no longer. It's no mas, guys, because of colonization.
Yeah.
Let's read the room a little bit. And maybe we don't got to sing all the things about the indigenous
The
people.
tribe.
The tribe, bringing back your inherent
Sure.
nomadic nature.
That's the thing.
That is, you know what I'm saying? It's just,
There
it's
is a
giving-
dark irony
There's
about
a dark irony.
singing about exploration and I'm being called. And it's like, actually, literally in here, everyone in here is in jail with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that for sure. I feel that all little girls are allowed to sing the I Want song from Moana.
Everyone can sing it publicly for 3 minutes on a flight.
That I have a
That's tough.
distinct problem.
And I'm saying that does add. It's like the acoustic guitar versions of rap songs. It's not as bad, but it is. It would be a class. Like it would be a misdemeanor. You know what I mean? Or like it would be like a manslaughter instead of murder one. Murder one is a white girl with a ukulele singing. I'm gonna smell that dick or something.
And she does the N-word.
And she does the N-word and stuff.
She keeps the N-words in.
That's first degree murder. We're talking accidental manslaughter on the white preteen.
Yeah, I would
who's-
say even maybe just criminal negligence.
Criminal negligence. All right, well, and that's why they have a jury of the peers.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I would come down harder. She's doing criminal negligence. We all know a crime has been committed here. What say you, Julia?
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
Okay, so I will say that if we go to this next slide, comments are pretty universally negative.
Open the door, jump out.
Open the door,
I'm with
jump
David.
out. This is actually my worst nightmare in personal hell. No hate to this girl, but the parents should know how to read a room. Not
Correct.
everything should be centered around your child. She isn't Moana. Life isn't a Disney movie. Get me out of this plane immediately.
Yeah.
I think I have more comments on the next slide. Maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, Moana didn't cross the ocean for this. I mean, she's not bad, but that doesn't mean anyone wants to hear it. And that's coming from a Moana lover. It just kept going. Why would anyone let this happen?
I think these are all correct.
Yeah, I agree with all of these sentiments. I am like, why did the parents let this happen? And then my other question is, why did the crew let this happen?
The crew's they're just trying to get people off their back. They're like, you want more snacks? I'll give it to you. You want this? Because a flight attendant was packing out snacks. Like, you want to get the fucking mic? Go ahead, bitch. Because it's not their fault that it's delayed. And the flight attendants, clearly they're talking because of Nathan For You season 2. they're communicating now. I'm just saying.
Like, oh, you guys want to play around on planes?
Yeah.
You guys want to mess around with what happens on the plane?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know anything about this little girl, whatever. Her voice wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
No, she has not been doxxed, which I think is good.
Yeah.
I will say, so if we actually go to this next slide, so this starts going viral and then other people who were on the plane start posting their own angles. So these are just two. This one was is like a Snapchat one where you can see the text is, we're delayed on the runway 3 hours and they let this girl sing over the intercom. What is this shit?
Holy shit.
And another kid delayed 6 hours who let this girl sing. And what I do appreciate is that all of the posters I've seen have had it trained on their own faces listening. So
Not showing her.
they're not doxing the little girl. And I do think everyone is like, this sucks. But the adults who allowed it to happen are to blame, not the tween.
True.
Not the tween.
That's not what Julia says.
Julia says
lock her up.
Lock them all up.
Lock them all up.
But here's the thing. If the video was of her, like, kind of fighting off a flight attendant who was like, you have to give this back. And she's like fighting for her life singing, I would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
That
there,
would be
if
different.
there was a conflict.
There's no subversion here.
Yeah.
She's not giving performance. She's not
Again,
giving
where's the tension?
Where's the tension? Where's the
climax?
stakes? Where's the? We need eye contact with the audience.
Give
We
me.
need
That's the
some
thing.
dance moves.
Yeah.
If
Do
you're
a
gonna
little
demand
hula
people
jig.
look at you,
Yeah.
give them a show.
Give him a
Yeah.
show. Because I would say the stage presence was lacking.
Yeah.
The voice, she had a nice voice.
Decent voice.
But time and place and stage presence. So just to wrap this up, I am going to read this quote from, this is from an article in Men's Journal.
Oh, God.
A woman who was on the flight
My
shared,
favorite.
we were delayed about almost an hour and a half, 2 hours to even get on the plane. So tensions are already high. People are pissed. They've missed connections, and some people just want to get home. Some passengers were furious as their Delta in-flight entertainment screens were interrupted as the young girl performed the entire song. So you're trying to watch a movie, and they're like, the thing comes on that's like, there's an announcement, and it's her singing.
Wait, so if all of those details were in the video, I think I would be all about it, actually. Because now that's the tension. Like, this is becoming like a nightmare fever dream. And I want all of that
So
in
we
the
needed
video.
the stakes more.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I actually think so.
And so where this ends is that Delta has responded to what has happened. And this was a quote they gave to Newsweek. We appreciate the customer sharing her talents and apologize to our customers for the delay in their travels.
Yeah, they can't come
They
down
can't say
either way.
anything.
They can't say anything.
So before we hand it over to our final segment, I know you already said it's a C, cursed or blessed.
I'm gonna say it's cursed. I want to say neutral because I feel bad for the girl, but it's kind of cursed.
It's cursed to me as well. Just the implications of it, the
Yeah.
idea that this could happen to anyone on a plane. I do not think the crew should be handing over the crew mic for performances of any kind.
Agreed.
I'll say that. When I see
I don't
videos of
know.
people playing guitar, walking up and down the aisle, I hate that.
I feel like there was this one commercial flight that had all of Bad Bunny's like backing band, like the salsa band, and they were playing on the flight. Or like if everybody,
But I
if
don't
it's-
want that.
I do. I'm like, if there's a whole gospel like choir that's going on their way to a competition, I'd hear a bar. I'd hear I'd hear something like.
Well, they're
I'm curious.
professionals.
Yeah,
They're
with
going to be good.
professionals, Yeah,
I'm still just like, no.
you're too high for anything.
No, and also it's like, I don't know, traveling sucks. I don't think it's made better by a musical performance that you didn't ask for. Some people are trying to like work on a flight. Some people are just trying to fucking read. Like unless it's an agreed upon, we're on the Bad Bunny flight and
Oh
people
my
are going to
God.
sing. I don't think we can be having performances in the air.
Okay. Well, we're divided. We're polarized.
We're polarized on that, but not on this.
Not on this.
So
This is
first
cursed.
piece of content blessed, second piece of content cursed. We solved it.
We solved it.
And now we're on to our final segment.
Grass hole of the week.
week.
Grass hole of the week is the segment of our show where we nominate one person who needs to go touch grass more than anyone else. And go connect with the real world. Go live a real life. And our grass hole of the week is a creator by the name of Liv Schmid. And she used to have 670,000 TikTok followers. She currently has 323,000 Instagram followers and now has 97,000 subscribers on YouTube. So this is all of our sources, or a lot of the sources from this piece is from an article in The Cut by E.J. Dixon. And Liv Schmid is a skinny influencer who makes content directed at, she says, young professional white collar women who work at a desk all day.
Emphasis on the white.
Yeah.
Well, quote, for me, it's always, this is Liv saying, for me, it was always easier to cut out 300 calories of food than to burn 300 calories in exercise, especially if you're a career person with a limited amount of time, she says. Schmid says she's never struggled with disordered eating, but she knows what it's like to experience discomfort in her body. In the 3rd grade, she's met with a nutritionist, psychiatrist to understand anxiety. So it's like, she says that she's not, encouraging eating disorders and stuff. And that she's never had an eating disorder. She just has had nutritionists and psychiatrists talk to her about not eating in school. And
Since the 3rd grade?
In the 3rd grade. And she was put on medication to treat her generalized anxiety disorder and how nutrition, so she's kind of skirting around. She's like, I don't have disordered eating. I just had problems eating when I was like,
Yeah, I just had problems eating that have been medically treated by psychiatrists and professionals.
So she's been accused of being a rage baiter or purposefully trying to outrage views. She doesn't really deny it. She uses pig, cow, and whale emojis sometimes at her posts and jumps on opportunities to joke about thinness. After YouTuber Nikado Avocado revealed his 250-pound weight loss earlier this month, Schmid posted a TikTok saying that she was forcing herself to walk rather than to go to happy hour after work because, quote, I refuse to let Nikado Avocado be skinnier than me. So let's watch one of her videos to get kind of a feel before we get into why she's grassful.
Here's the thing. All those rules about no sugar, no dessert, no treats are backfiring. They're turning a simple craving into a full-blown obsession. Instead of having a small sliver of a cake, I'm not talking a full cake, I'm talking like 1/4 of a slice. You're replacing it with healthier sweets, which end up being way more high calorie and way worse for you. Because let's be real, the almond butter with the maple syrup and the honey can sometimes be even more calories. You should have just had the brownie because sometimes the lower calorie sweets, again, trigger because it doesn't hit that sweet spot craving, so it triggers you eating more and more and more. Sugar isn't a health food. Duh! But the issue isn't sugar itself. It's the restriction mindset. The minute you tell yourself, I can't have that, your brain goes, guess what? Watch me. Suddenly sugar is all you can think about. The solution, allow yourself to have sugar when you actually want it. No guilt, no rules, no I'll start over tomorrow. For me, I know sugar doesn't make me feel my best. It can leave me bloated, sluggish, feeling heavy, feeling tired. So I save it for the weekends or special moments because I know how it makes me feel. Not because I can't have it during the week, but because I don't want to have it during the week. That's when everything changes, when you know how you feel and you don't want it during the week. Because people are like, Liv, you say this, but then you do low calorie, low sugar, healthy recipes during the week. Guess what? I don't want to feel bloated, sluggish, tired during the week, okay? If I wanted a small ice cream, I would allow myself, but because I'm so used to allowing myself to have those things, guess what? I don't want it anymore. I prefer the low calorie sweet treats sometimes during the week, but on the weekends, 100% prefer the real calorie thing. And I have come up with solutions that taste good and make me feel.
Guess what?
Guess what?
So what do you guys think so far about this girl?
I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I get an ick off of it. That's what I'll say. It's like, I get that. I think she's like trying to say the right thing of like, you should let yourself have a tiny sliver of cake. And I'm like, I guess, yeah. But also, well, she's very thin, which
She's
someone's
very
allowed to
thin.
be. But red flagging to me, if you're constantly doing like calorie-based content and you're so thin. And I don't know. There was just a dark energy to that video, I felt.
For sure. I mean, I feel like what she was saying here, some of it was like,
Okay.
I'm like, I guess I agree with that to an extent in terms of like, rather than saying no sugar, like if you want it, just eat it. But totally a darkness. There's a little dead behind the eyes.
Yeah. So
And defensive.
in
like
the beginning of this video, she's like, I don't deny it. I just don't eat it because it makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, so you are denying it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So
That's like, not to promote my future works, but that's kind of like a character I'm working on for my character team right now, which is like someone like a fitness influencer who is like dancing around trying to say that they're trying to get thin by being like, I'm just doing it to be healthy, to be lean, to be
right.
toned. I just don't want to be bloated. I just like,
yeah.
and it's like, we know what you really want, which is to be thin.
mhm.
Well, okay. So that's Liv. Separately, so last year, in August 2024, psychologists by the name of Madison R. Blackburn and Rachel C. Hogg developed a study based on the correlation of women seeing content like Liv Schmid and developing anorexia. And they sampled 275 women between the ages of 18 to 28, and they're seeing if they were exposed to like this kind of content, which is like, they call it like pro-ana content, like pro-anorexia, skinny influencer, whatever, versus a neutral TikTok, and then versus people who don't see it at all. And obviously women who do see it have like way worse experiences in their body and way worse opinions in their body. And the women who see it even neutrally, like who don't necessarily get served it, but will get some exposure, also report bad. So it was just basically this really popularized study that's like, TikTok getting fed this shit will fuck up your brain and how it views you.
sure.
And like, it's all in the algorithm for feeding and radicalizing people even worse. So right after this was published last year, TikTok deleted her account because, you know, of the eating disorder stuff. And in April, the conservative women's magazine Evie.
Ooh, I've heard of Evie.
We've all heard of Evie. It's trying to make like trad wife things cool.
Yeah.
And the first cover, throwback, the cover of their first ever magazine was Miss Ballerina Farm.
Yes.
So it's trying to give Ballerina Farm like make trad wife stuff aesthetic, and it's Evie for like evangelical. But they featured her in a profile called, and the quote was "banned for being honest." So that's kind of her vibe. She gets kicked off of TikTok. What's happening now? Why is she graceful? Schmid started a paid subscribers only chat on Instagram called Skinny Group Chat Community on Meta, where she has 67,000 followers. And she says hundreds of people are paying $9.99 a month for access to the group, where she shares more content such as motivational quotes about weight loss, her essential grocery list, and it's like a place for accountability, so groups can help each other, like update each other on progress. And the fee supposedly is intended to weed out fake accounts. She shares screenshots with feedback from members of the skinny group, including women she said she helped them overcome their eating disorders and who she felt she was teaching them a healthy way to be skinny. It is estimated that she was earning $130,000 a month.
Holy shit.
A month.
Holy
These
shit.
65, so she had 6,500 members, paying members in the Skinny Society. So it's spelled SKINNI Society, SOCETE. So what goes on in Skinny Society? In March, she reposted a message from a follower who wrote her school paper about how much she looks up to Schmid. Quote, her content has helped and continues to help so many young girls form a healthy relationship with food and exercise, this fan wrote. She truly exemplifies the values of what a role model should be. she has quotes that she posts where it says, eat like you're the main character because you are. And then another quote is, eat like your highest self is watching. Eat like your next weigh-in is tomorrow.
You know what that's giving? Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
Nothing
Absolutely.
tastes as good.
That's like,
That's the original.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the OG.
Yeah.
So, again, like, I'm just going to go into what she says and like, what's the vibe of this thing? Because this is what EJ Dixon found was like, Schmid would always say like, you're doing everything except for this one thing. You're a smart girl. You need to stop overeating and eat less. Her subscriber-only grid features glamorous black and white stock photos of models on yachts or in Italian piazzas sipping coffee or demurely slipping on the designer glasses with captions like, what to do when people comment on your food, and quote, how I stay silent, skinny, and unbothered. In Schmidt's world, thinness isn't just...
Silent, skinny, and unbothered?
Silent, skinny, and unbothered. In Schmidt's world, thinness isn't just a physical state, but the basis of an entire luxury lifestyle. So what ended up happening, so that's kind of the content, right? So the journalist interviewed people who were formerly in the group, and she went in the group herself, like undercover. And one girl who was named Annie joined because she thought the advice was basically what's happening is she's kind of telling people to eat less than 1,000 calories a day and take 27
dangerous.
Yeah, and take 27,000 steps a day and eat like less than 1,000 calories. And then one girl who was 20 years old said that she thought it was just kind of like to encourage like walk more, eat less. But then it got so competitive on who could eat the less, like who, whatever. So Annie said she had a history with binge eating and would regularly post photos of her meat. Okay. So Annie said that one time, and this was one of the things that got her to leave the group. Annie is the 20-year-old. She said that there was this woman who was in the group that had a history of binge eating and would regularly post her meals, so people could eat. And it was all vegetables. And the girls would often praise her and support and be like, oh my God. And Annie's like, is no one going to tell her to like talk to someone or seek professional help? And right, like that's one thing for adults. But what the journalist found was that there are teens in this group. Even though this is quote from Schmid, Schmid says that the group is only open to quote biological girls over the age of 18.
Okay, so we're putting some transphobia in here.
And she's
awesome.
Very Trumpian. But there was no age verification when the author joined. 3 people told her that they noticed members of the group who they believed to be in high school because they referred to homework. And she at least found 12 members of that group who listed their high school in their bios, and she confirmed their age by cross-referencing with other social media profiles. One member in the thread recently mentioned that she was graduating high school that day, and somebody else said, congrats, you'll be the skinniest girl at your graduation.
Oh my God.
So
dark.
Any thoughts before we keep going?
Oh, this makes me feel really bad. This makes me feel... I don't know if you guys were ever like in the... like ever saw like pro Anna Tumblr content.
No, but I know that a lot of this is where it comes
That's like, I think pro Anna is a online term that has existed for a while about like content that encourages like super skinniness, and it really proliferated on Tumblr for a while. I don't know if that's where the term originated, but I've always associated it with Tumblr. And it's very much this. It's like images of like super skinny people and like these false, again, like nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, like false motivating phrases to get you to stay skinny. The idea of you'll be the skinniest girl at your graduation is so tough.
So dark.
Ugh. Yeah, major ick on all
Should
this.
we all join and kind of like fuck shit up though?
Well, great point, because actually, so Meta has a bunch of stuff in their policies, and most social media has this. And ironically, it's under the suicide, self-injury, and eating disorder/eating disorder. That's all in the same section because they view it as the same. And they have a strict thing that they don't allow content that promotes, encourages, coordinates, or provides. They don't allow imagery of people when shared together with terms associated with eating disorders. They don't allow, this is what Meta says, Content that focuses on depiction of ribs, collarbones, thighs, because that's how they would get away with it. They would post, ribs, collarbones, thigh gaps, hips, concave stomach, protruding spine, scapula, visible bones in arms or legs, or hollow cheeks when shared together with terms associated with eating disorders.
That's what a lot of the pro-Ana content on Tumblr looked like. Like it would be just like an image of like this of the skinniest thighs and the thigh gap, and then like that was it.
Yeah, content that contains instruction for extreme weight loss behavior, content to admitting to extreme weight loss behavior when shared together with terms associated with eating disorders, content that, instruction for restrictive dieting, content that mocks whatever. So that's Meta's policy. So basically the author sent stuff. Meta was like, we're looking into it. And then after publishing it, Meta says that they've restricted the account. So it's only visible to people 18 or older, but people lie.
Yeah.
And also that they demonetize her account. So she's no longer allowed to make money.
Well, then she's going to stop doing it, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
that 150K a month
doing this.
Here's the thing. I feel like in a few years, she's going to have some serious fucking lawsuits coming her way. Though.
I mean,
I hope she does.
I hope she does. What you'll find is that she's not the only person kind of doing this. There's a lot of other people. They're trying to strike a balance. Meta says like, so when the author was like, there's other people doing this shit, like, and they're skirting around it. And Meta said like, they're trying to strike a balance between removing potentially dangerous pro-Ana content and letting people talk about their recovery. So, and they said that they have people reviewing it. But again, this is what somebody says, in quotes, like, or this is what the author says. Eating disorders are one of the deadliest, most difficult illnesses to treat.
Sorry about that. I don't know what just caught in my throat. Sorry.
Eating disorders are one of the deadliest, most difficult illnesses to treat. Once you start hearing a little voice whispering in your head, telling you to restrict or binge or purge or go on the treadmill or go for a walk, it's incredibly hard to stop listening. There are other skinny talk influencers. There's Amanda Dobler, a fat loss and mindset coach who makes videos enumerating things you can do that keep you being stuck and fat. And Mandani Zargami, a Miami-based influencer with almost 350,000 TikTok followers who lectures followers who are, quote, built like a Buffalo Big Back or a linebacker. So,
Jesus Christ.
She's crazy. So the next post, so after she gets demonetized, she posts this. She crashes out. She posts like 100 fucking stories. She posts this, which is underrated weight loss tip I swear by. Drink the same tea every night before bed. I drink the peppermint tea every night before bed. It's not tea, it's a cue. A cue to my body now knows mint tea means kitchen is closed, it's bedtime. Body in bed, mind in control. Try this if you struggle with sleeping and late night eating. And so that's her video. And then the caption says, these are the kinds of tips I share with my 7,000 plus girls in my community. Not eating disorders, not extremes, not shames, no meal plans, no calorie counting, no tracking, no food off limits, just portion control. No restriction, just structure. If you want to follow along, follow Skinny Society. So how she responded over the weekend, right? Over the weekend before she was demonetized, her bio read, and Liv Schmid is 23 years old. So her bio read, quote, it's not a sin to want to be thin, saving America from obesity one person at a time, but that was changed on Monday. In new videos she posted over the weekend, are no longer visible. She said she wouldn't discuss what she eats in a day or grocery hauls on TikTok. Quote, you lost the privilege, she said, while directing viewers to her other social media accounts. While most TikTok users are able to create multiple accounts, the company's guidelines say it may restrict or permanently ban those that post violative content on new profiles. So basically, she can't get her TikTok back. So now what, and she lost this subscriber only Meta thing. So now what people on Reddit have found is that she now has a new Google form, which you'll see next, which is for, quote, next slide. It is a Google form for a private NDA vault that is $3,000 a month, and it's on Telegram. And it is, she quotes, "You're applying to be one of 30 maximum granted access to the Skinny Society secrets. A private NDA bound vault." Now she wants everyone to sign NDAs for this shit. "For women who are done spiraling, done guessing, and done sharing their goals with people who don't have any. What's included for $2,900 starting June 1st ending July 1st. Group calls and Zooms where we do questions and answers, the vault skinny tools, monthly challenges, more tailored monthly challenges, a skinny PR box with all her favorite things, a locked Telegram thread with 29 women who don't post about discipline, they live it, an NDA because discretion is part of this lifestyle, 24/7 access to call me, text me, live workouts, and you'll be expected to report every day, track your patterns, show up on time, not spiral, be determined, be dedicated, no refunds, no softness, no leaks. These are for women who are ready to work." So she's been posting that. She's like a kind of Fox News contributor. Like she is like pretty MAGA-y. But yeah, this is what she's
We gotta
doing
join.
now.
Should we GoFundMe for us to be one of the 20
in the Skinny Society?
We don't sign the NDA. We leak it all. We bring her down.
We sign
Somebody's going to be doing that.
I mean, no, there's no way that whatever this NDA is, you can't make people sign an NDA and then do harmful things and be like, well, no one's like then an NDA becomes null and void.
Is that what you feel like that's where people are going to start suing her?
I think they can, honestly, based off other things, because I think that there are going to be underage people in her groups who are going to be like mentally and emotionally affected by her content that's going to probably stick with them. I feel like the age thing is something that she can get in trouble for. Also, she's not an expert in it. She's not a nutritional expert. She's not a trainer. So to give this advice, this like just snake oil advice to people who could be diabetic, like you could cause serious harm to someone down the line. And I do feel like she could be on the hook for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that thing she posted that's like about the peppermint tea, sure, whatever. That's like innocuous enough advice, I guess. But like that is not what's being said in this secret NDA Skinny Society. You know that the stuff that's in there, the stuff that troubled the author of this article, that's a whole different level. Sure, maybe what she puts out on public-facing videos is more subtly coded, skinny, thin-spo type shit.
Yeah.
But my guess is what's being said in this is like, don't eat.
Yeah.
Don't eat ice if you feel hungry.
Eating is weakness.
Yeah, exactly. Like that kind of like tough love vibe of like, why aren't you losing weight? And it's like, does this person need to lose weight? I mean, it's just dark. It's really dark.
Well, something that the author said was that there were girls in the group that were experiencing side effects of undereating, which is hair loss, dizziness, brain fog. And what they were saying was like, oh, take sugar bear hair or like
eat sugar bear
to get
hair.
their hair back. Like take all these other drugs or drink tea or all that stuff. So like that is the disturbing thing. Yeah. And it's like,
you can permanently destroy a young girl's body by having her be malnourished for
these girls
year.
aren't getting periods or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard to recover from like not getting enough nourishment in your body, especially if you are a high schooler who is like in an active growing and changing phase. Like
her frontal lobe hasn't even fully come in yet either. I'm like, why are we listening? Not we. Why? But
like she is quote unquote a model, which like who isn't a model? Who hasn't modeled on this couch? Like honestly,
Millie's a model.
I'm a model. You know what I mean? But like for someone who's kind of in the middle of nowhere, doesn't know anybody in New York, sees this girl living this glamorous life of going to Italy and all this stuff. They're like, oh, this is what I have to do to accomplish that. Yeah, they're gonna, and this girl doesn't fucking know anything. And again, being pro Anna, that's a grass hole, but that's other issues. But it's the fact that you've profited off of it. There are children in your thing, and all you keep doing, there's no kind of self-reflection. She posted, I couldn't find the actual thing. She posted like 100 stories freaking out. And she's like, all these men get to post whatever they want. But when they see a skinny blonde white woman posting some stuff about her own body. She's trying to use like girl boss feminism.
I know. I'm like,
scary.
and it's just crazy. And that's why I'm like, you need to fucking go outside. Like, you've monetized this multiple times. You're playing with fire. You're not learning any lessons. You just keep making it more and more private. And I'm sure that she's ratcheting up more and more of what she's saying.
Yeah.
And she's going to get herself fucking sued.
Yeah.
Log off.
What's about to happen in this group, that's going to be some real fucking darkness. That's not.
What's 3,000 times 30?
There's no way to
money she's
know.
making? There's no way to know. There's no way to know.
I think it's 90.
90,000. 90,000. Okay.
$90,000. Yeah.
Wow.
She's hopefully going to make.
They're not a math podcast. I was wrong.
She needs to touch grass, but also I think like seek help because I
Yeah.
also feel like she is not well. Like
No, she's not.
Yeah, go outside and walk to the office of a medical professional who can help you work
She's
through
walking
what's going
everywhere.
on. Well, yeah, it's like she's walking.
walking.
Use some of those.
she's walking on
27,000
treadmills. We're like
steps.
go outside in nature.
Yeah, and that's also like the author of this piece interviewed a nutritionist and was like, look at this diet, because took what she eats in a day, which is like waking up and drinking tea and all this shit, right? And the nutritionist was like, this is not a normal thing to eat if you do nothing all day. But this girl's taking 27,000 steps a day. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to monetize it multiple times with teens in there and all this shit. And all her stuff is not talking about, whatever, like teens. It's all about like, she's the victim of this cancel culture is what she's saying. So for the crime of promoting anorexia, monetizing it from children, having a lot of people live Schmid, for the love of fucking God. Go touch grass. Julia, thank you so much for
This
coming.
was an amazing episode.
Amazing
guys.
episode.
So
You're the
fun.
best.
You're the best.
Why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you, follow you, see your bob, see your appropriate pants, all the stuff.
The pants are appropriate.
Thank you so much. That is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. You can follow me on Julia Shiplett at Julia Shiplett. Let me start that again. You can follow me at Julia Shiplett on pretty much every platform, and come see my Bob live sometime this
Let's
summer.
see your Bob
guys,
live.
Julia's one of the best.
One of
It was
the best,
so
so
funny,
funny.
so great on every show. Guys, you can follow this podcast at Go Touch Grass Pod on everything. You can follow me at Pandalise on Instagram and at Elise Navidad on TikTok.
You can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and TikTok, and Millie_Tamaris on Twitter. I'm still there. Sorry. It's still shit's still popping. Shit's still popping.
We got to be on there. It's our work.
We gotta be on there. So that's it.
Until next time, go touch grass.
Woo!
Woo! That was a great app.
Great app.
Great app.
That was a HeadGum podcast.